afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. How y'all doing? I'm off TikTok punishment. Thank you all for tuning in to the Taz Effect, daily news in a way you did not know you could use. For those listening in over the radio airwaves, thank you for tuning in at gcpr.live, Live. For everyone else, thank you for checking me out on Facebook, Substack, Blue Sky, Upscroll, TikTok, and YouTube. We'll see how TikTok goes. Hey, everyone. Yes, Elmo. We got some big news for Elmo. Harley, sit down. It's okay. Sit. Jeez, peaks. Studio audience went to work. Somebody is taking their job way too seriously. I don't know how long I'm in timeout when it comes to gifts. SC. But y'all can skedaddle over to YouTube to @TazJ77, get those numbers up, or you can just go over to the GCPR page and gift us with some super chats, or click my bio. Payables are up there, or you can go to the link in my bio and get the Melt the Ice with the Warmth of Humanity merch. Y'all did know that your girl had merch, right? You did. I am a Jacqueline of a many trades. I thought y'all knew that. Come on, let's get it together. Whip yourselves into shape, okay? All right. Let's get into it. Since everybody, and by everybody, I'm talking about the MAGA faithful, keep screaming that they hope that ICE shows up and arrests Bad Bunny, although Bad Bunny is a U.S. citizen. But, they're looking to booty crack of Booty Meat Booger Sugar Barbie, aka Nicki Minaj, and she's not a citizen, nor is she white. But I digress. So the NFL had to say this. NFL says no ICE operations planned for Super Bowl 60. Now, am I holding my breath? No, because ICE decided to take its little just skedaddle over, okay? Like it was a Scooby-Doo mystery machine, Mysteries Inc. villain over to Italy, over to Milan for the Olympics. Like they have jurisdiction over there. But why? Why let good sense and education get in the way of your tyranny? Okay? Why let that happen? Because we're going to get into another example of how this administration has no idea how things work in a little bit. There are no ICE or federal immigration enforcement operations planned for Super Bowl 60 or events around the big game, NFL leadership said during a February 3rd press conference. Those plans were revealed at the annual NFL and law enforcement security briefing ahead of Super Bowl 60. The NFL's chief security officer, Kathy Lanier, noted that the presence of federal public safety and law enforcement officials is consistent with previous Super Bowls. In other words, it appears to be business as usual with federal officers supporting state and local agencies. Wow. Yeah. But y'all want to know just how stupid this administration is and who they're hiring? Of course you want to know. Of course you want to know. You know that there was a raid in Fulton County by the FBI regarding voter information, correct? Mm-hmm. Did you know that they showed up to the wrong place because that's not where the voter information is stored after election day? Two, the warrant was filled out incorrectly. Wrong places, wrong day, like everything was wrong. And you want to know what else? This is how I know we have some brand new didn't earn it hires at the Federal Bureau of Non-Investigations. The officers were confused as to why there were any complaints. And they're like, oh no, we'll sort it out later. No, 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 no. That's not the order of operations for a warrant. That's that's not that's not how that goes. That's not how that works. Okay, you don't get to just take the stuff and leave. And then they're like, no, we don't get copies. We get the originals. No, no, because we know y'all can destroy things, tamper with things. There has to be checks and balances. But they were adamant, like, no, that's not how that works. Yes, that's absolutely how that works. Like, I'm not a cop. Don't even play one on TV or on the interwebs. But I can tell you the order of operations. I can tell you the order of operations. Now, to the MAGA faithful, to the non-vaxxers, to the I'm a drink raw milk. Okay, and I'm not surprised because y'all drinking raw everything. Okay, you are everything your ancestors were. Okay, racist, stupid, and filthy, and riddled with disease, and willing to bump undercarriages with anything that has a pulse, and I mean anything. Okay, um, the amount of people getting in my comment section regarding the 5-year-old, the latest child, actually the second latest child, to be taken into immigration custody and held. They're like, well, why did they take him in the first place? Because you mofos didn't say nothing. It's just this child has a complexion that was able to tug on your heartstrings. But they've been taken, most of them, these children, are taken to the Dilley facility. Now, as I've said it before, a lot of these facilities are pulling a duality. And it's intentional. It's intentional. It's cutting costs. And it's a way of making you think that there are fewer facilities and fewer people being held than what they are. And if you don't know where they are, you can't go and protest. Well, until there was me. If you would like to know a breakdown, I've even got them in categories of where ICE can detain people and house them, go to camptaz.blogspot.com. Or if you want to take a shortcut, just go to link in my bio. You know how that goes. But the reason why I brought up the anti-vaxxers and the raw milk drinkers, why can't y'all just stick to just drinking nut milk? Whether it's from your daddy's faucet, your mama's faucet, your brother's faucet, your significant other's faucet, however y'all do it, because y'all like to have family wreaths instead of family trees. Measles outbreak reported at ICE's Dilley Family Detention Facility. Harley, I need you to stop. Mama's got to work. You got to go sit down. You ain't paid me no attention till I cut the camera and everything on. ICE officials informed members of the Senate Judiciary Committee about the outbreak, immigration attorney Eric Lee said. After a week of public outcry over the South Texas Family Residential Center's treatment of young children behind its wall, keep in mind that is plural, children. The Dilley facility is experiencing a measles outbreak, according to immigration attorney Eric Lee. Lee, who went viral last week for capturing the moment a protest broke out inside the facility, told The Current that Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, informed Senate Judiciary staff of the outbreak over the weekend. At least 2 cases have been confirmed at the facility as of press time, the attorney said. Over 400 children are detained at the Dilley facility, which currently holds approximately 1,200 detainees. I need you to keep in mind, if you have not gone to see the breakdown of these lists, I need you to. No, they're there with their parents, chicken. They're there with their parents. They're there with at least one parent. These are children that have been abducted alongside of their parents. Parents who have pending appeals, pending court dates, everything else. They're there with at least one parent. But if you have not taken a look at the breakdown in the list, there are facilities specifically for children. Now, I can understand them trying to say, well, we don't want to further traumatize the children. No, those children have been moved out of that facility. But there are children who have gone on hunger strikes, children who have developed PTSD, the the stress, the strain. I need y'all to realize the United States already has piss poor healthcare. The United States already does not take mental health seriously unless they're trying to weaponize it against someone. What do you think this is going to do to this country? You all sit and get so jealous of how far advanced other countries are while you sit around and make fun of education, humanity, brotherhood, like all of these things. You are not your brother's keeper. You are your brother's destroyer. You all require zero proof to believe a lie, but you need a mountain of evidence to believe the truth. You want everybody to come and help you, but you don't want to help anybody else. My God, today. And if you think I'm joking, how many times have you heard people say not to vote for Jasmine Crockett? How many times have people said things and provided zero evidence, making all sorts of claims on her name? Hey, DJ, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Mm-hmm. And not too many people have had anything to say about Mr. Tallarico, right? Harley, you're killing me, Smalls. Take a listen.
James Tallarico told me that he signed up to run against a mediocre black man, not a formidable and intelligent black woman. And I want to explain why this is problematic, especially as he shifted his current approach in the Texas Senate race. Now, before I get into the conversation that led to this comment, I want to put it out there that I supported Tallarico and planned on voting for him before Jasmine Crockett joined the race. I'm voting for James Tallarico. So I planned on voting for him when he was running against Colin Allred, the mediocre black man that he's referring to. Now, no matter how you feel about Colin Allred, the man is an attorney, a former professional football player, and a former congressman. But I'm not bringing this forward because I want to bring any more negativity to this race. I care way too much about Texas to do something like that. But I do think it is my responsibility to bring something like this forward. And I do think it also indicates some things that are pretty important when it comes to how he's moving with his campaign. The obvious intimidation of Jasmine Crockett, along with the racially charged disrespect of Colin Allred as a black man, indicates something deeper than just a overly familiar comment that is coded in a compliment for a black woman. This explained to me why he would jump at the opportunity to play victim at just the mere thought as anything other than positive being out about him. And it also explains why he would say something like attack ads is what she planned on doing when the actual video he's referring to says nothing of the sort. Using this language when you have the privilege of being a white man, when people across the political spectrum are also using the angry black woman that's aggressive trope to attack her, is microaggressive. That's why I previously stated that this is an indication of his insecurity around his candidacy, or it's indicating that he has something to hide. So getting into the conversation that led to the comment from James, I was angry and concerned after receiving an email and a text message from James Carville on Tallarico's behalf for donations. James Carville is a Democratic strategist that has made comments recently about the need for Democrats to drop woke politics and even wrote an article in November for the New York Times saying exactly that. And I'm always going to advocate for black people because I don't care about how much you talk about affordability, housing, healthcare, or whatever. If woke politics is not included in that, which directly impacts black people, then we're left out of that conversation and policy. So I made that known to the campaign as someone that has a possibility of sitting in that seat. Now, up until this comment, the conversation was going well. That's why it threw me off so much to have a white man say this to a black woman who was coming to him with concerns in relation to him for black people. That is why the multiple people and news sources that have stated that he's working with Liz Smith, a consultant that's known for smearing competitors and campaigns, sounds credible to me, even though the campaign keeps saying that they're not, even though they've stated otherwise previously. Creators talk to him both individually and collectively, and multiple of us have caught them lying to us. Now, I stand by my statements that he's way better than Kim Paxton, who's the current frontrunner for Republicans, and a terror that we're trying to protect the rest of the country from. But this isn't someone I feel comfortable being in office when we have a truly amazing candidate like Jasmine Crockett as an option. So yes, I'm voting for Jasmine Crockett for Senate, and I encourage you to do so as well.
In that comment section, there's a plethora of people Well, why not speak out earlier? This seems like a targeted attack. No receipts, no receipts. Why would you want to come out and talk crap about him now? Why didn't you say it when you first got the information? No receipts, no receipt. Somebody once said Jasmine Crockett is a fraud because she went to private school, ran with it, and their racism allowed them to run with it because black people ain't supposed to go to private school. But let's forget about all the GOP that tell you that they're just a good old boy, never meaning no harm, but they grew up with a damn platinum spoon in their mouth. And she stated who contacted her, the email, like everything. But there's still, I don't know why you saying this about Tallarico. I don't know. Not, hey, Nana J, not, hey, I don't believe that he said that. I don't believe that he's racist. Not prove to me that he's racist because he's never said that before. They bypassed the racism. Let me repeat that. They bypassed the racism. Quick note, right now, relatives of Renee Good speak at a public forum in Washington. Two of the brothers of Miss Good, who was killed by an ICE agent last month, were invited by Democrats in Congress. Minnesota's governor renewed his criticism of a federal immigration crackdown as well. Also, as a popping hot, and for those that keep spreading the lie that some way, somehow, Joseph Robinette Biden groomed Dr. Jill Biden, and that some way, somehow, she was the babysitter for his kids and all this other stuff. I have an unfortunate headline that should squash all of that for you all. Hey, Annabelle. Jill Biden's ex-husband charged with murder of his wife. I don't know if you know what it takes to get married. And yes, in different states, it's a different minimum age requirement. But let me repeat this coming from The Guardian. Jill Biden's ex-husband charged with murder of his wife. And he looked just crazy as this story sounds. The ex-husband, a former U.S. First Lady, Dr. Put some respect on her name, Jill Biden, has been arrested and charged with the murder of his wife, officials said on Tuesday. William Stevenson, 77. 7-7. Double 7. 7 up, 7 down. 7 all the way around. Was taken into custody on Monday and is facing a charge of first-degree murder in the death of Linda Stevenson, according to a grand jury indictment filed in Delaware. On December 28th, 2025, damn, right after Christmas, you ain't even let her get to use her gifts and enjoy them all that good. Officers from the Newcastle County Division of Police responded to a reported domestic dispute at the Stevensons' home where they found Linda unresponsive in the living room. In my living room, on my good couch, you gonna snuff me? I will haunt you forever. Officers immediately administered life-saving measures, but were unable to revive her. In a press statement issued at the time, police said that Linda Stevenson's body had been turned over to the Delaware Division of Forensic Science, where an autopsy would be conducted to determine the cause and manner of her death. Look, if anybody has desires to kill me, please don't stick a pin in that, okay? Life is whooping my ass enough, all right? But I have very detailed instructions regarding my final days and my memorial service. And if I have to go through multiple autopsies, that's just not going to come, okay? And the body is not going to heal from bruising and contortions and swelling all like that. And I ain't got time for that, okay? Y'all done did enough to me in life. Let me have my final moment in death, okay? Let me go out like a boss, all right? All right. Just off me in your dreams, off me in your head. Learn how to draw that out, use AI, get your fantasy out that way, but don't do it in real life, because trust and believe, My petty run deep. Okay? My petty. Hey, honey. My yeah, Reese's at the reception. You got that right, April. My petty run deep. I will haunt you forever. You will get no more cooter biscuit. Okay, your Bucci cat will not get touched. Every time you think you about to you won't. You won't. Dr. Jill Biden, then Jill Tracy Jacobs, married William Stevenson. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait, girl, would you stop? Married William Stevenson in February 1970 as an 18-year-old student at the University of Delaware. The couple were married for 5. Okay? Not a 4 for 5 whole years. Not 5 quarters. 5 whole years. Okay? Jill met then Senator Joe Biden in March 1975. So if she was 18 in 1970 class, if she was 18 in 1970 class, she could not be a minor in 1975. Party, go. Now you just be in bed. Go. William Stevenson is currently in custody at the Howard Young Correctional Institute after failing to post a $500,000 cash bail. The office of Joe and Jill Biden did not immediately respond to a Guardian request for comment. Why are you asking them for comment? That woman don't know him. She knew him, the him of 1970. 1970 to 1975. She don't know the 2025 nor the 2026 version of him. I wish you would call me about an ex in 2026 asking me about them. First of all, we're strangers. They're not an ex. They're stranger danger. I don't know that person. Okay. Whatever year we was together, that's the version of them that I know. That is the version of me that they know. This version is a stranger to them. And that version of them is a stranger to me. Absolutely not. Quit asking people that. I can't stand that. And don't ask me about no arbitrary family member either. Okay, some of us ain't spoke since we've been goo goo gaga. And then after that, we didn't have nothing to say to each other. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Stop assuming because somebody shared data or somebody swapped undercarriage juices at some point in time, we forever know each other. We don't. We don't. I've said this before, and let me make it clear. When I say stuff, I include myself in it too, because some of y'all be DMing me later talking about, you're really full of yourself. I am, but not in this instance, okay? And you should be full of yourself too. Get it together, okay? Get it together, okay? You should be overflowing with yourself. Everybody doesn't love everybody the same. Okay. Sis, you know how my brain is. Undercarriage juices. I'm trying to stay out of TikTok punishment. But everybody is not going to love everybody the same. The level that somebody loved an ex of yours is not how, and how an ex loved you may not be how they love the next person. How you love somebody may not be how you love the next person because we're all individuals and how we come together and how we fit together is something different. So I need y'all to stop. They said they would never get married. Now they done met him, and a year later they getting married because that wasn't your person. And they didn't love you like they love that person. And you didn't love them like you gonna love the next person that you meet. Or you didn't love them like you loved 2 people before them. It's okay. Everybody ain't gonna be comfy cozy. Even in a friend group, some people are gonna be closer than others. It's okay. Gark is so extra, and so am I. Ow, yes, that's what we love to hear. Ribbon and potatoes petty. Absolutely. But yeah, but on a serious note, like y'all, what is my number one rule? And for those of y'all that are new here, number one rule, don't ask for something you're not willing to give. And alongside of that, you can't expect somebody to love you if you don't love yourself. And I don't care how much you love your significant other. I don't care how much you love your children. I don't care how much you love your fur babies. And don't give me don't be over here crying for Hartley. Okay, she was just fine. When I cut on everything, now she wants to be the center of attention. And usually she'll just come in here and sit. Now she's trying to put her face all across my lap. I can't work that way. She fine. She is side eye me from right next to me. Don't cry for her, Argentina. But you can't expect people to love you when you can't love you. And you can't expect people to help enhance your happy if you can't tell them what makes you happy. And honey, if you don't make you happy, nobody else can enhance your happy, because nobody's here to complete you. Nobody's here to make you happy. They can add to your happiness or they can take away from it. And the moment they start taking away from it, talk to them about it. And if they make no changes and keep chipping away at it, chuck up the deuces and move. You're right. You got to show up complete. This ain't, no. And also, get away from this Hallmark Disney fantasy stuff. My Prince Charming will come and whisk me away. She's going to be my peace. Why do y'all think that women are supposed to have peace? And why do you think that you can't be the Queen Charming? Because some days you're going to have 80% and you're going to have to give 80% because that other person only has 20%, whether it's because of health, physical health, mental health, whatever it might be. And another time you may only have 5% and you need them to step up with 95%. Hello? I need y'all to stop acting as if as soon as you fall in love, everything is easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Baby, parenting and being in a relationship are two of the hardest endeavors you will ever embark upon in your life. It doesn't get easier. If it gets easier, that means that you've hit a stalemate and y'all don't really like each other because you're not growing and you're not speaking up about what makes you uncomfortable, what makes you happy, all of these things. If it's too easy, it's because somebody done already clocked out. And it's not nagging to say, hey, I don't like this. It's not nagging to say, hey, you said X, Y, and Z. And I know y'all gonna try to come out the bag at me. Submission goes both ways. For a relationship to work, y'all must submit to one another. And I think y'all need to go and look up the term submit and stop acting like submit is servitude. And finally, before we move on, what you put out into the universe is what you will get. Because a lot of y'all are low-key pick-me's and you don't realize that you are. Out here, just assuming somebody gonna read your mind and give you what you want, or you're pretending like you don't require what you require, or you don't desire what you desire because you looking at other people who can't get it. Those people ain't getting what they want because they're a closed mouth ain't gonna get fed. They ain't told nobody what to bring them for dinner, so they're not getting dinner. I can't tell you how many people over the years like, ain't nobody gonna put up with that, ain't nobody gonna do that, or people that are like, I wouldn't do that, I'm not gonna do. Show you will, because I'm going to respect what you want in a relationship if I'm willing to deal with it. So you're going to respect what I want. I am a lady, damn it. Treat me like a lady. So don't be sitting out there mean mugging when somebody get up and open the door for somebody else and you pissed off the rest of the night at your significant other because you never told them that you wanted that, or you sat there and was like, I'm not that fragile, I can do that on my own. A bullshit. I'm allergic to that shit. Mm-mm. I will cook all day long. What I will not do is carry a bunch of bags. So you find somebody who's willing to balance that with you. But stop being out here lying and then talk about everybody else ain't shit. You ain't shit to yourself. People will do and provide you with what you ask. If you don't never ask, if you don't never say, you will never get. You will never get. For a short period of time, I listened to them heifers that was like, don't ask a person this, don't ask a person that, and they'll just love you. And then I had to take a look. If these are the heifers that are miserable and their significant others out there checking everybody else's temperature and oil with their below deck dipstick, but they the bee's knees because he built me a new deck. He brought me some flowers, and he also brought you herpes and disrespect. And the only reason he's still here is because it's cheaper to keep you. Like, don't do that. And then it goes for you too. You mad because she done slept with everybody in the block because you didn't tell her what you really want. You out here talking about, I need a girl with no experience, but you want to go get all this experience for what? If she ain't got no experience, anything you do is going to impress her. You didn't think of that. You out here, oh no, I need me a woman that just want to be a housewife and then you mad when the only time she want to oochie coochie wally wally is to get pregnant. And she only want to do a missionary. She ain't doing none of that freaky deaky stuff that you want because you said that was whore stuff. And you were like, when did this become a whorehouse? When you woke up in the morning, because that's what you wanted. You wanted her to have Megan needs and superhead throat powers. Okay. You wanted her to be Nancy Reagan. Oh, yeah. The different types of singles. Yeah. Yeah. I went down that rabbit hole too. We might revisit that on Friday. Now, speaking of incels that never want to tell anybody what they want to do, how the hell you on your way to become the world's first trillionaire if he hasn't already crossed over? Because it's been teetering back and forth. So I don't want to officially give him the title because one day at 8 o'clock, he was officially a trillionaire. And then by 8:35, he wasn't no more. Okay. Elonia Muskrat. Because how you got that much money? And even with no gain, you still can't pull a one. Oh, that's because you cheap. You don't even want to pay child support. And on paper, you's a welfare king. Round. Ex-officers raided in France as UK opens fresh investigation into Grok. Because Grok be saying a whole lot of nasty things. And when Elon Musk started taking credit for Grok, I was like, that makes sense. That makes sense. That tracks. That tracks because he's a nasty ass 12-year-old stuck in that gummy, gooey, Gumby body. You know, if you touch his skin, it's gonna ripple like an old school waterbed. You know it is. He looked like he looked like his skin feel like slime. And not like the good slime you can like buy from the TikTok shop or from the store. Y'all remember when your teacher used to be like, oh, this is gonna be our arts and crafts project today, because she really didn't feel like doing nothing. She wanted y'all to be occupied for the rest of the day. And she was probably mad at somebody, mama or daddy, for cussing her out that one time 2 days ago after school. That right there. What they used to call it, GAC. Yeah, that's what. The French offices of Elon Musk's ex have been raided by the Paris prosecutor's cybercrime unit as part of an investigation into suspected offenses, including unlawful data extraction and complicity in the possession of child pornography. That's not suspected. That's what happened. We think it happened. We've been trying to report it for a while. They just kiki and laugh and joke about it. Like, I would disable the ability to take a child's picture and put into the prompts, remove clothes and all this other stuff, but not Muskrat. The prosecutor's office also said both Musk and former ex-chief executive Linda Yaccarino had been summoned to appear at hearings in April. That's almost a year ago. Okay. Justice just slow walking her. Okay. All right. In a separate development, the UK's Information Commissioner's Office, ICO, announced a probe into Musk's AI tool, Grok, over its potential to produce harmful sexualized image and video content. Let's not forget about the Grok that's inside the Teslas, especially most notably, if y'all remember, because Tassie Farmers remember, a story coming out of Canada where a woman had, taken a feature. She's got her kids in the car, and Grok started asking for intimate pictures. See, a lot of people are like, oh, well, there's bugs in the system. That's intentional. Let me remind y'all. Court documents in regards to Miss Amber Heard. And stop trying to make fetch happen. That bitch is not a victim. She is a victimizer. Because it's amazing that after she lost and lost all her jobs and her endorsements and all that stuff, that baby disappeared. The baby that nobody really saw. But I digress. She was throwing parties in order to blackmail Elon Musk. I want you to guess the age range of the attendees of these parties. I can tell you this, they can't vote. That's why I keep telling y'all, stop just looking for men on these lists. I need y'all to use your smarticle particles. Exactly, chicken 12 to 15. I need y'all to use your smarticle particles. Especially if you're a woman or a femme-presenting individual. If you're in high school or you're at your little after-school job or summer job or whatever, who are you going to be more comfortable with hanging around you, chit-chatting with you? As a teenager, who would you be more likely to give your first and last name to? And if somebody presents themselves as the cooler older sister that's going to let you do all the cool kid stuff and they got the money to pay for it, who you going to be with? And don't take this as me victim blaming. I am not. I am saying too many of y'all keep going, well, the men, and they manipulated the women. Women are creeps too. If you think I'm joking, everything has been updated over on the YouTube channel at TazJ77 under the playlist Nobody's Girl, the memoir for Virginia Roberts Giuffre. Yeah, get caught up over there. And we'll continue today at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. It is official. What we all already knew, what we all already watched. Alex Pretty's death has been officially put on the books as a homicide. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Hey, D-Twin. Hey. They're not off. I'm still in punishment, DJ. But you can get this. No, the ice. There's coffee cups in two. Coffee cups in two. Promise y'all I can talk in a multitude of languages. There. Alex Pretty's death was ruled a homicide Monday by the Hennepin County Medical Examiner. In the medical examiner's report, Pretty's cause of death was listed as multiple gunshot wounds, and how the injury occurred was due to being, and I quote, shot by law enforcement officers. His manner of death was listed as a homicide. Now, yes, this is a step in the right direction, but you want to know why they're admitting this and they're letting this go on the official paperwork? They also released the names of the two officers that were involved in the shooting. This wasn't like the last one, Jonathan Ross, where we pieced it together and found out who he was. Want to know why? Want to know why? Remember, I will vote for Donald Trump. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hispanic. So they're like, you're not our brand of white. You're a little too sofritos to be our brand of white. So we're going to make an example out of you. We're going to be like, see, we're cracking down. And for those that were like, oh, yeah, we know about the bonuses and we get so much per year, blah, blah, blah. And if we leave, we have to pay it back. That's okay. I'm not leaving the job. And I kept telling people, like, you do realize this is a slippery slope into actually, for the first time, placing white people into a type of chattel slavery. People are like, no, you're reaching, you're reaching. They're all over Reddit and other apps, anonymously, or they believe anonymously, complaining about not having health insurance, not getting paid, not even getting their bonuses, and more. And guess what? They can't quit because if they're already not getting paid, they don't have the money to pay that back. And a lot of them did the military thing. And what do I mean by that? Hurried up and married their girlfriend. Oh, baby, I'm gonna have all this money, and we get extra money for traveling, and we get extra money for this, because these are also things that they were promised. You don't gotta work. We got this. Da, 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 da. And at this point, they're gonna start racking up debts because with a regime like the current regime, let's not forget, we have a sitting president that charges us for him taking his Secret Service team to his golf resorts. He charges for that, us, the taxpayers. So how long before ICE agents start getting charged mileage, fuel, food cost, hotel fees? And as they're accruing this, how are they going to be able to pay this down while still not getting paid? Because this administration is going to tack on interest rates and everything else. Their wives are going to have to start working. Their children are going to have to start working. And who are they going to have to work for in order to get this paid off? See, I think you all forgot, but Taz Farms didn't forget how Elon Musk and Trump and a few others in this administration were trying to resurrect company towns, which were also a form of slavery. Because once you worked for that company and moved into the town, you couldn't move out because you weren't actually getting a paycheck. You weren't actually getting anything. Yeah, you worked and you were like, oh, well, everything's so cheap. Yeah, because you're going off a credit to pay for your house from the company, to pay for your groceries from the company. You couldn't leave because nothing was transferable. You didn't have a debit card to swipe anyplace else. This is what they're going to do. This is what they're going to do. Now what? You gonna vote for Donald Trump? Oh, speaking of which, the vast majority of the people that were in that video of I will vote for Donald Trump have been deported. I think there's like 2 left. And before people go, well, you should have a bleeding heart for him, and you should have some. No, I shouldn't. No, I shouldn't, because all the way leading up to this, they were disrespected by white Trump supporters. They were told where to go. They were told how they felt. They sat there and watched the mass deportation signs go up at rallies and the RNC and everything else. They turned around to my black ass and called me everything but what's on my birth certificate. Okay? So no. Absolutely not. And just like the people are like, for the white women coming out going, I need your help. They took my husband. Who'd you vote for? Well, that doesn't matter now. They took my husband. No, you voted for this. This is what you wanted. You was proud of. This is what I voted for. Get him out of here. Well, my husband ain't one of the bad ones to them. Yes, he is. If he's not easily defeated by the sun, he's one of the bad ones to them. Honey, thought you knew that. And they're like, no, it doesn't matter what tips the scale for somebody. It's the fact that the scale tipped. The scale didn't tip. They didn't have a change of heart. They didn't have an epiphany. They didn't finally wake up. They just want their comfort back. And their comfort happens to be in their spouse. Once their spouse comes back, they don't give a damn. Let's not forget the white man that sat the white immigrant, ethnically not white person, that sat there, got interviewed when his wife got deported. Well, got detained. And he's like, well, yeah, I voted for it. I'll vote for it again. They don't care. Racism and bigotry is not a team sport. Let me repeat that for you. Racism and bigotry is not a team sport. Think of it as tennis, baby. And not couples, not doubles. Tennis singles. That is what racism and bigotry is. It is not meant for a conglomerate of people to be up at the top. It was always set up for one person to prove that they were the superior to everyone else. Hey, Harley, I owe my dough to the company store. Absolutely. And speaking of which, if you're a business owner or you would like to see and or hear your business featured on GCPR, make sure you go to gcpr.live and click advertise here and go ahead. Get your ads up here. Okay? I'm sure you would love to hear myself, Angry, Thomas, General Gambit especially, Solid Blue Sister, Mr. Kennedy, T. Nathan, read out the words that impeccably encompass your business and bring in additional sales and visibility because we all could use a little extra coin in our pockets, right? And I'm pretty sure y'all want us to keep the lights on over here. Just shake it. So go ahead and do that. And if you don't want to take the time to go through all of that and fill out all of that, you can easily email us at gcprprod@gcpr.live. Tell him Taz sent you. Now, I was going to close out talking about something else today. But there's an individual, they're femme presenting. My apologies, I did not verify their pronouns before beginning this, so I'm going to keep their pronouns gender neutral. Who's kind of unraveling in my comment section. Savannah Guthrie of the Today Show, her mother has gone missing. It appears that it was a kidnapping. Does not appear that robbery was the motive. And given the climate that we're in, we don't know if it's politically motivated. We don't know if it's an intimidation tactic. We don't know if it's just someone who had a mental break. But there were traces of blood found at her residence, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I've been covering this since yesterday when I first found out about it, and I was able to verify some things because it wasn't really getting a lot of attention. Today, the news broke nationally. Now, is there a discrepancy based upon race and gender as to who gets coverage? Yes. Now, I am biased. Oh, yeah, Harley, we actually just got finished talking about that. Am I biased when it comes to children and women and femme presenting individuals being able to get a boost? Yes. Am I biased when it comes to members of the disabled community getting a boost regarding visibility? Also, yes. Should something happen to someone I know or someone that anyone who listens or consumes my content, watches the shows, etc., would I put everything out to get them attention? Yes, I've done that in the past. I've known people whose children, whose nieces and nephews have gone missing, and we've gotten it across as many things as we could, and we were very fortunate to get them back unharmed. But to come onto a post as someone who their pacemaker, we don't know if the device has lost power. She doesn't have her medication. Her heart monitor is no longer sending information to her Apple Watch. Her phone is at home. All of these things. To come on and say, well, think of all the people who don't have famous people in their lives and they don't get this. So be the person that gets the information out. There are plenty of Black women who have turned all of their social media into highlighting missing people, into bringing attention. There are plenty of Native American individuals who have just made entire platforms and, hey, this person is missing, let's find them, let's bring them home. Why not do that? And I said, do you say this to one cancer patient who's trying to raise money? And you know what? I'm not going to paraphrase. Let's let's go to the comment exchange. Let's go there. Because we got all time. We got all time saying. Sometimes, sometimes you don't need to be a damn contrarian. Wait. Wait, wait, wait. Did you delete your comments? Ah, here we go. Okay. So, how many other elderly people disappeared from that area that haven't made national news? I said, are you like this when a single cancer patient needs to raise money? They said, is it all over national news because of their famous relatives? If so, yes. One daughter who's on the Today Show. Does that necessarily make someone famous? No. Because I've had people ask me, and I've asked other people, what do you think of such and such? I have no idea who they are. And they're on nationally syndicated shows every single day. I said it took 3 days for it to be picked up. My question still stands. They said, I answered you. Again, if that cancer patient needing money has a famous relative, it's all over the news and tons of awareness and money comes in. No one is donating to a random person on GoFundMe that the national news hasn't covered. That's not true. It's only news if they're related to a famous person. Now I told you in 2026, I'm sick of people's shit. If being contrarian is your whole personality, don't come around here. Because I'm going to go full pimp name Slickback on you, okay? My pimp hand going to be real strong, not strong, strong in 2026. I said, so you really don't care about people. You simply enjoy being a contrarian, hindrance, and annoyance. Noted. Also, you could bring light to the missing. Because this woman is missing. Didn't share it, didn't do anything. And who cares? Who cares? I'm kind of glad that her daughter is Savannah Guthrie. And this person is saying, the relative wasn't famous. Nancy Guthrie, that is her name, has appeared on the Today Show a multitude of times over the years herself. Many years ago, late teens, about to hit my 20s. My granny was out and about, some way, somehow hit her head and had, I guess you could say, momentary amnesia. We couldn't find her. She wasn't at home. She kept the schedule just like I, very stickler for my schedule. We're calling around. Fortunately, because of things that my grandparents, like, and people knowing older people in my family and their notoriety, we were able to track her down. Then about 2-3 hours. She was on the highway, driving to Lord knows where. And it could have gotten really bad. The way the brakes would have been beat off of somebody if while we're trying to get the word out and people who have a name, quote unquote, in the area or nationwide, because I know a few regional and national journalists, that they're trying to put out, somebody's like, well, if there wouldn't have been the way the Gen X in me would have rolled up. Come on outside. Like, I need y'all to stop being contrarian. I need y'all to stop with the, well, what about this person over here? I don't give a damn. If my house burns down to damn day, I'm going to tell you this. I don't care about Seraphina's house burning down 3 cities over. I'm trying to fix my shit. Are you going to help me or not? You can choose to help us both if you know about both of them. It does not make you a good, compassionate person when folks are trying to rally the troops for you to come in and go, well, what about Bob down here? Go help Bob. If you're so worried about Bob, go help. Because one thing for certain, two things for sure. When it comes to me, I can see a post where somebody's like, hey, this is what I'm going through, or can you help my bestie? And I know that I know someone else in need. I'm not going to go into the comment section and go, well, you know, blah, 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 needs help too. No. I can share their posts and still help the person that I know. I can still get the word out for the person that I know. Y'all would rather everybody suffer if you can't be looked at as the hero. Let me repeat that. Y'all were ready for everybody to suffer. You want to be looked at as the hero so bad. There was a point in time. I had people in my family tell me, like, oh, yeah, back in the day, we all used to help each other with the kids, blah, blah, blah. Nobody said anything. Then there was a shift when my generation started to become adults. You couldn't ask somebody for a dime without them immediately jumping on the phone. Girl, yeah, I had to help them out again. I don't know what they would do without me. Mm-hmm. Yep, I bought 4 things for such and such's birthday because you know they can only get. And you wonder why people suffer in silence. You will question up and down somebody being in need, but I sit and watch y'all go in and out of million. There are people, specifically on TikTok, that'll sit there and go, get ready with me, and let me show you my $800 skincare routine. And you're just giving them your money, giving them your money. A young lady on TikTok was like, for New Year's Eve, I want this shirt. And even though I've got hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I told y'all once I spent $700 on tickets and $30 on a single strawberry, how about you just loan it to me? Don't charge me for this shirt that I want. And y'all did it. But another person was like, hey, my sister unexpectedly died. I got to take in my niece and nephew. They said it's going to be a couple of months before everything is squared away and I can get whatever life insurance she had. Do y'all think y'all could spare $200 so I can get them, you know, X, Y, and Z at my house? And y'all, she got a D- in the 10th grade in English. I can't help her. That's a scammer right there. I knew it. It was in my spirit. It was in my spirit, girl. Oh, yeah. In 2015, she tweeted this. Did you know she was a fan of blah, blah, blah? Can't give her no money. Can't give her no money. But Taylor Swift can say nickel, 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 nickel in a song. And y'all like, well, you got to understand. She didn't mean it. And even though she's stealing our ideas and our information, it's okay. I still need to give her my money because, like, she's a billionaire, but she's like a broke billionaire. But then y'all sitting here screaming, how come nobody will come and save us in the United States as all this tyranny is going on? The United States has destabilized and disrespected people for generations, not just the Trump regime. What is she really doing with all her money? Right. This has been a long-standing thing. Ain't nobody coming. They see us leave each other at the wayside. That's like that's like somebody who needs a kidney transplant but keeps drinking. Like it's an IV saving their life. And looking around going, why won't nobody give me a kidney? I don't understand. Why won't nobody give me a kidney? The United States keeps guzzling tyranny and rugged individualism and that fuck you mentality. Ooh, I caught myself. We're still on the road. We didn't say the bad word. But then you want other people to come and save you? Every other country is out there going, don't save them. They don't want to be saved. Don't save them. Because what you mean? Absolutely not. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. The United States needs to go to AA before it can ask anybody to save them. Omega Man, you're right. Swift is honestly one of the worst famous people. And what's funny is, as we're closing out, the ex of Travis Kelsey that everybody seems to be obsessed with, and that's not the last woman that he dated before Taylor Swift. Just so y'all know, uh, you know, New Edition, Boys to Men, and Tony Braxton have this concert, this tour going on, right? Well, Miss Kayla was able to perform with Tony Braxton. He wasn't man enough for me. Well, Travis is in trouble for his fraudulent nonprofit. But I told y'all that wasn't a real relationship anyway, and that's a good way to be a victim, and for white people to forget that Taylor Swift truly is in love with the racist, but she had to separate from that racist to revamp her image and make it seem like she one-upped black women. No, you didn't. Oh, definitely Brett Favre Jr. Definitely. We paid 177 out of 197 of the registered countries because we've destabilized them. we paying we paying reparations. We're paying reparations. Now, if we were better with our budgeting and stopped lying to our citizens and actually made the money work for one another, it would be great. But given that the people within the confines of the borders of the United States don't want to learn the order of operations to anything, you can't correct your politicians. You can't correct your representation because you don't even really know what you're owed. You know what? I might break that down for y'all in the series. A quick caveat: you're not aware, I do have a subscribers only series. It is a more in depth series for the anti racism journey on TikTok. If you subscribe to that right now, the first black news anchor, more in depth on him, is over there. And do not forget, still continuing with the series on the factions of the Grand Old Party, is over on the Substack. And I need y'all to think about it. Put your particle particles to good use, because your girl just realized she has a Patreon account that she started and it's just been dormant. So what do y'all want to see over there? Okay, because all the content got to be different. I don't like to just give y'all the same everywhere. So what you want? And ain't nobody taking no clothes off. So don't even ask. There's always one. So I got to put that out there. There's always one. Yeah. Omega Man, you can say no all you want. That's the truth. That's a fact. United States is bad with that. Yeah. So, but as always, H1 to H1, H1 to H1. Remember, don't do anything that requires bail in this economy. But more importantly, remember, it only requires bail should you get caught. Otherwise, I will see you all tonight 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, for Learning Through Literature as we continue to go through the memoir of Virginia Roberts Giuffre, Nobody's Girl. All right. Go get a snack and a nap. Unless you're joining me for today's open discussion on race, then just go get a snack. Don't be late. All right. Bye, y'all.